This is a Louie Tee Network exclusive.
For those of you who don't know, I'm Louie Tee, host of the Louie Tee Network, and this is One Burning Question, a series that will take a look at all 32 teams in the National Football League and pose a question. Some teams will have micro questions where we look at the team in its current state and talk about what could potentially happen for them in this season. And some will take a macro approach where we kind of open up the lens a bit and take a step back and look at it from a wide view look and perspective and talk about where these franchises might be going in the future, not just this season, but moving forward. So I'll take a look at each and every single team, ask a burning question, answer that question, and move on to the next team. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy One Burning Question. Welcome to this In the Lab Room exclusive series, One Burning Question. I, of course, am your host, Louie Tee. Thank you for joining me on this program. Today, we're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and their one burning question. Let's jump right into this one burning question with this very young football team headed up by Lovie Smith. How fast can the Buccaneers learn the necessary effort required to win on a consistent basis? I think that is a really intriguing question for a young Tampa Bay Buccaneers football team, because I think you don't see the consistency that you need for this Buccaneers team to win on a consistent basis, and that's probably why they're going to finish this season at 7-9 and not get to 500, because they lack the consistency and the consistent effort. Because there are games when they show up and you say to yourself, this isn't the team I saw last week. This isn't the team I saw put 45 up on the head of the Philadelphia Eagles. This isn't the same team that I saw do that. This isn't the same team that I saw put up 38 points against the Jacksonville Jaguars. This isn't the same team. This isn't the same team that I saw show the heart and moxie on the road to beat a then good Atlanta Falcons team and then come back and do the same thing at home. Down in that game late, Jameis Winston putting his head down against 3 Atlanta Falcon defenders and picking up 20 on 3rd and 19. It's not the same team I saw. When I watched the Indy game, it wasn't the same team. Didn't feel like that was a team that was worthy of making the postseason. When I watched the Saints game, didn't feel like that was a team worthy of making a run at the postseason. When I watched the Rams game, that first half they were dead. There was no energy, there was no life to that football team. I don't know those boys. And that's why I asked this question. How fast can they learn the effort that is necessary to consistently win, week in, week out, giving maximum effort to win? They also need to become a much more disciplined football team. For example, Golson. Every time I see Golson, it seems like he's getting a personal foul penalty. Seems like he's a head case. I don't know if he's a head case or not. He just seems to be always getting a personal foul penalty. This team, they pick up a lot of dumb penalties. That's a mark of a young team though. Young teams do things like that. I need Lovie to crack down on that and get these guys right. I also need them to realize that teams aren't going to lay down for them. Going to have to come out with maximum effort each and every single week. You got to sustain it, okay, throughout the course of a ball game. I heard something crazy on Thursday Night Football that each and every single one of the 6 Buccaneers wins have come when they've had some point in the game trailed and had to come from behind and win the game. That's asinine. You know what that means? You're not getting out to a fast enough start. You're not getting out to a fast enough start. You're allowing the team to jump on you, get on top of you early, and then you're having to do more work. You're having to expound more energy to come back and win the football game. It's great that you have that in you, but why not? Why make it hard on yourself? Why not go out and get it done early and not have to do that? Much like you did against the Redskins. 24-0 in the first half. Couldn't play much better football than you did in the first half of that game. And then you let the Redskins slowly but surely walk you down and take the lead and ultimately win that football game at the end. Not consistent for 4 quarters. This team, as young as it is, at some point has to grow up and has to realize that if they're going to compete, they're in a tough division. Yeah, the Falcons are struggling. Yeah, the Panthers are damn good. Yeah, you don't know which Saints team is going to show up from week to week. It's a tough division to figure out. And you're one of those teams that's tough to figure out. So how about you make it easier on everybody else and show that you can be consistent so you're not an enigma, so you're not tough to figure out. Go out and play with the effort necessary. Look, I can take losing. Sometimes you just play a team that's just better than you. When you play Carolina, they're just better than you are. It happens. Teams are better than you in the league. You're not better than every single team in the league. But what I have a problem with is when you lose games when there's not enough effort, when I feel like there's a lack of effort. That's a problem for me, one that I can't stomach. And so if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you need maximum effort from everyone on the field. And tell Doug Martin to stop fumbling the goddamn football. That would also help. And tell Mike Evans to stop dropping the goddamn football. That also helps. And it'd be nice if Vincent Jackson could stay healthy. That would also be great. But look, those are things that you can't control. At least some of them you can't. You can control catching the football. You can control not fumbling. But at the end of the day, it's a young football team. And these are the growing pains. I talk about the process with the Redskins all the time. This is a Buccaneers team going through the process. They've done a great job this season. Lovie Smith, give him credit. I knew some guys that wanted Lovie Smith fired after the first 3 games of this season. Give Lovie Smith some credit. He's gotten his team, to me, way more polished and out front of the expectations than I think a lot of people had for this team. Because I didn't expect them to be at 1 point 5-5 on this season, at 1 point 6-6 on this season with a chance to go over 500. I didn't expect that for this Buccaneers team. I didn't expect them to be in the playoff discussion at all, and that's where they were just a week ago, just 2 weeks ago. They were in the playoff discussion. That's pretty much done now. They've lost 2 in a row. They had opportunities. They've spoiled them, but that's what young teams do. They don't know what to do with that opportunity. I need them to grow up. I need this team to realize the mistakes that they've made this season, and I need them to come out with a sense of urgency next season. So I'll read this question one final time. How fast can the Buccaneers learn the necessary effort required to win on a consistent basis? If they figure it out over the offseason, if they use all of the lessons learned from this 2015 campaign, and you get all these young guys another year of experience, and they come out and they understand some of the faults that they had last season, and they improve upon those, this could be a team that could compete not only in the NFC for a playoff bid, but we're talking about a team that could potentially compete in the NFC South division. That's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they're one burning question. I am Louie Tee.